welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a fun little video showing you guys different ways to use your smoothing mattifying primer in your makeup routine. I took a masterclass with Milk Makeup on the new release of their Pore Eclipse Mattifying Plus Blurring Primer. They had Glamzilla Stephanie, a huge TikTok sensation, beauty icon, show us different ways to use what you already have at home to create a more soft matte finish using your primer. I'm gonna share with you guys some of my favorite tips and tricks that they showed us because summer's coming and I know us oily skin people, we need that soft matte finish for as long as possible. So definitely continue watching. I'm excited to show you guys some new techniques. So the first trick that we learned, and basically the whole point of this, is how to use what you already have at home to create a little like cocktail mix that can work for perhaps a new season. So we're stepping into summer. We need something to keep us like oil-free, in place, soft matte finish all day long, especially because it's hot. And with me, I sweat easily, so I need something that's gonna lock in. So I have here some products that I love to use. My moisturizer. This is the Use of People Superfood Air Whip Moisture Cream. This does give a little bit of that glowy finish sometimes. And I know some people may not like, you know, having too much of that glow and they kind of want it to be as oil-free as possible. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to mix this with our Milk primer and it's going to give you a soft matte effect. So that was the whole point of this, is using this primer with products you already have, mixing them in to create that perfect like soft matte smoothing finish for the summer. So I just mixed the two products. Now the Milk Makeup Primer is a skincare friendly product. Obviously it's makeup, but there's great skincare ingredients in there. You have the niacinamide, which helps minimize the appearance of pores. It also does have lentil extracts, helps reduce the shine. And they have one of their staple ingredients called bakuchiol. It helps visibly smooth skin texture and even skin tone. And we're gonna apply it on this side. So basically what I'm trying to say is if you have a moisturizer and you really love it, but it gives you too much of a like radiant finish and you have oily skin and you don't like that, mix it in with the primer, a nice smoothing or mattifying primer like this, and it'll work much better and absorb any of those oils from the starting point. Okay, so now that we have that, we're gonna move on to our next step. We're gonna take foundation. So here's the fun part, and I think this is the part that you guys will enjoy. So let's say you have a favorite foundation, but it's more so a foundation that has radiance in it, that you like to use for winter, fall, spring, but then summer comes and you're like, oh, that looks a little too dewy. Let me go out and buy a new one. No, no, no. You don't have to buy a new foundation because you can just mix it in with your favorite mattifying smoothing primer. I'm gonna be using the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I love this foundation, but it definitely does have a little bit more so of like a luminous finish, like a glowy natural finish. So I'm gonna just have the foundation there. Then I'm gonna go in with the primer. I'm gonna apply the primer on the foundation and we're gonna literally just mix that like a cocktail. And that's the fun thing about makeup, is that makeup is like an experiment. You want to mix things and you can create something so much better, and because the primer's so lightweight, it can easily work with the foundation. You have now created something that you can just blend in, and look, it isn't as shiny as when you go in with the foundation not mixed with anything. Look, it literally has no radiance. I wouldn't recommend doing this technique with like an already matte foundation because it'll be too much matte. I would only do this with a foundation that is more so radiant, that you're trying to like cut through the radiance. And by layering these on the face, it also gives great longevity of things lasting. You guys see how like the base looks soft and matte. And then another really cool trick is, let's say you have a bold lip like this red, you know? Not everybody likes to wear a bold red lip because sometimes it's too much, but you already have it in your collection. So you're like, how am I gonna use this? How can I make this a little bit more natural looking? So she took the lipstick on the back of her hand like that. Then she went in with the primer. And then she just mixed it in. And do you guys see how that quickly softens the lip color? Like it just softened that lip color so nicely. And then you just dab it on the lip and look, It looks so pretty, so natural, very summertime appropriate, because I feel like summertime is all about the lip tints. And then it's not as bright as just going in with this. And then you just don't have to worry about it getting all over the place. So like, look at that. It made a difference, like a subtle difference, but it still made a difference. And it's such a natural wearable shade. It reminds me of those lip blushes that recently came out. It also doesn't transfer. Look at that. There's literally no transfer. So it's literally almost like a lip tint. Yes, I love that. This is giving me summertime vibes. I'm gonna be using this a lot, but when she did this, I was like, yes, girl. Because I love a good lippy. The last trick that I recommend, and this one I actually already know about and I've done it before. I did a TikTok on this using the Benefit Professional Primer. I use the Pore Light. I have here the regular Professional, but I use the Pore Light, the new one, because that one is kind of like a blurring, smoothing primer. And what I did with that is, let's say you are at hour 5 or 6 of wearing your makeup and it's starting to look a little dewy, it's not looking as perfected. You just go in, you take a little bit of your primer, just very little bit, because you don't want to take too much product, so that would be enough. And then you go either with your finger or you can take a sponge and you just apply it in little areas where you feel like you can see your imperfections and just blend it in. And it literally will give you a soft blurred out finish. Also kind of like in the area of your pores. And I say use very little of this, because if you use a lot, it's gonna make your makeup separate. Because I've had people be like, oh, I tried that, it made my makeup separate. It's because you need to use literally just a pinch of this, really warm it up with your finger or with your sponge, and then press it into any of those areas where you kind of wanna conceal those enlarged pores. And this mainly works more so to touch up, and then it really makes a difference. I mean, you can kind of see the difference right now. Look at the difference between having the primer here a little bit more blurred out, and here you can kind of see the texture a little bit more. So that's just something to note, and that really does help, especially later in the day. Like I said, just very little of it and it will definitely help, but I definitely do feel like it blurred out a little bit of those imperfections. So that's pretty much it. These were some of the tips and tricks that I learned from Milk Makeup's masterclass with Glamzilla. I feel like it's so good to learn different ways to use a product, especially when it is not the cheapest. It's always good to incorporate in different parts and aspects of your makeup routine so that you can really get your money's worth. I feel like my favorite ones were definitely the foundation and also this lip tint. It just made it so practical, and these are very good for the summertime that's approaching us, and it's gonna be hot out, so we need very practical products in our skin and things that are gonna keep us nice and oil-free for as long as possible. So let me know down below which tip of these you like the best. I will link down below the Milk Makeup Primer if you guys do want to check it out. Also my review. I have been using this non-stop. If you guys have been watching my videos consistently since I review this, this is one of my go-to products. I've also posted Instagram Reels and TikTok videos on this, so it's literally been everywhere. I hope that you guys have a fabulous day. If you guys want to see more videos like this, please let me know and give this video a big thumbs up. That really helps me out to know exactly what to film for you guys. And I will see you guys very soon. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.